Hello there and welcome to exercise number 11 for Publisher. So hopefully you've just finished watching that video on Publisher page design and guidelines and sizes and all of that to help you in completing this exercise, because there's a lot of new information that we want to make sure you are clear on how it works, and of course we'll be reviewing it to make sure it sticks in your head as well. So we're going to get started though with the actual exercise part. We do need to start Publisher if you haven't already, and then what you're going to do, it says begin a new blank publication using letter portrait 8.5 by 11 inch template. So instead of just clicking this one, we're going to click on more blank sizes. Remember, this is what you click on for all those, and over here we have letter portrait just like this. We're just going to leave this information here because we're not really going to be changing it, and let's click create. So we chose letter portrait there for this. Now what we need to do is we're going to save it right away. So let's click the save button. Remember, you're saving it to the right location, so your flash drive or if there's a specific folder, and then we're going to be naming it 11 pumpkin underscore your initials. 11 pumpkin underscore your initials. I'm going to save that. Now we're going to set the page size. So most of the time when we're messing with page look or size, it's going to be in the page design tab. So click page design tab, and now I could click on these different buttons, but what we're going to do here, and you can see it's here, but what we're going to do is let's actually click on the dialog box launcher over here to the right. Now the nice thing about selecting this one as opposed to clicking here is you can often select all the stuff you need here and then just click OK once instead of bringing up multiple boxes and page setup. So that's why we did that. Now we need to change the page width to 8 inches, so I'm going to go and click on the little down arrow next to it, change it to 8, and then it says we need to change it to 10 for height, so I'm going to click on the down arrow and bring it down to 10 for height as well. Then what we need to do is we have our margin guides, and we talked about those in the last video. That's blue lines here around your page, and we're going to change it to 0.8 for the width. Oh, excuse me, 0.8 for all sides. So I can click the little up arrow. I could click in there and manually type it in as well. And then it says we need to place a vertical ruler guide at a certain mark. So let's click OK. So you can see it changed a little bit for the margin guidelines. Our page changed in size as well. What we need to do, it says place a vertical ruler guide at the 1.5 inch mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom this in a little bit, go up here towards the top of the page. Now when you do this, remember to do a vertical one, I'm going to go up here to the top because this is vertical, remember, is up and down, horizontal is left and right. So vertical, I'm dealing with how far down the page it is. I'm going to bring it down, and it says we need to move it to the 1.5 inch mark. So I'm bringing it about to it. The way you can tell is if you go all the way over here to the ruler, you line it up with that mark and then let go. And you can see my page, it's about the same spot. And then we're going to do the same thing. Go over to the horizontal side ruler, and then I'm going to drag this out, and we're going for 1.5. So I got to go up here to the top, look at the ruler, and leave it there. So 1.5 over here, and we just created a horizontal guide, and 1.5 over here we created a vertical guide as well. So now that we've done that, let's go and create, it says a 4 inch wide by 2 inch high text box beginning at the intersection of the ruler guide. So let me show you something you can do here that makes it pretty simple for it. So I'm just going to go click draw a text box, and I'm just going to draw one, doesn't matter what size. Then let's go up here to drawing tools, click the format button, and over here we can change our height and size manually by typing it in as opposed to drawing it. So it said height needs to be 2 inches, so I type that in, push enter, leaving the quotation mark, get rid of width, it needs to be 4, push enter, and you can see it's created my text box here, 2 inches tall by 4 inches wide. So I'm going to click and hold down, drag it across here, and then put it at the intersection. So it's a very easy way to do it without, because you can try to line up with the ruler guidelines, but typically I'll just go and type it in instead. Now it's saying to get rid of our ruler guidelines, so we do need to do that. So here's our horizontal one right here. I think I actually said the wrong name earlier. So we just click, drag it up here past the page, and it'll go away. And then same thing, we have our vertical one over here. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Drag it over here, just like that, and it goes away. So those are gone. My text box is still here. And then what you need to do is save your work. And let's move on to the next part of the exercise. So we can click File, Close, F, of course, hopefully you saved it. And then we're going to start a new one. It says create a new publication using one of the greeting card templates. So we're going to click on Built-in. And then, of course, we're looking for our greeting cards. So down here after flyers, gift certificates, greeting cards. Let's click on that. And you can choose which one you want here from those templates. It looks like it's not specific or anything like that. But we are going to choose, I'll choose here, I guess. Let's go with a birthday one. Let's go with a picture of a cake. That sounds good right now. And then let's see here, before we open it, it doesn't look like it has any specifications for our schemes or things like that. So you can just go ahead and leave it as it is. And let's click Create. So it's made my birthday card for me. You can see I've got 4 pages listed over here. This is the inside, and of course the back part. And now what we need to do, it says in page setup, change the card to side fold card 5.5 by 8.5. So let's click page design. And then we're going to go and click on the dialog box launcher for page setup. And this is where we can change our sizes. So it says 5.5 by 8.5. So we're going to change that. So let's get this, switch it to 5.5. I push, I actually don't want to push enter. 5.5, and then for height it says 8.5. Let me get rid of my email here. 8.5. We're going to have all my emails come up, huh? There we go. So 5.5, 8.5 here, and it says it needs to be side fold card. So quarter sheet side fold. We already have it as that. So side fold card. That's set to go. Of course, you can see folded card. So this is where we can change that. And it says here, in our printer setup, we need to change the paper size. So let's do that. We're going to click OK. So it's changed the size of my card here. And let's go to File, Print. And in the printer setup, we're going to change it here. So right now, it says for the size, it's set to letter 8.5. We're going to change it to legal. So 8.5 by 14 apparently is legal. Yeah, just double check and make sure. So select that. You'll notice it's changing here. And then let's click the back arrow. And we're going to go to page design again. And let's change here. It says we need to reopen the page setup dialog box, so right here. And we need to set the width to 7 inches, half the width of a legal size sheet in landscape orientation. So 7 inches instead. So 7, 8.5 as well. And then we're going to click OK. So you can see we're adjusting our card here and how it's going to look. Now it says in the Layout Guides dialog box, turn off the 2-page master setting. So we have guides over here. And then what we need to do is go down to, I believe, ruler guides. This may be a step that's no longer in here. Let me double check. No. Oh, here we go. Let me show you one more time here. So guides, and then grid and baseline guides. I was clicking on the wrong one. And then we're going to go here to margin guides. And we're going to shut off, it says, the 2-page master setting. So uncheck that box. So margin guides, uncheck this box right here. And then it says here, set the margin guides to be 0.6 on all sides. So right now they're 0.35. So, and actually it switches to 0.65, so we're going to have to manually type it in. So I'm going to click here. 6, 6, and 6. So we changed all those guides. It shows it in our preview as well. I'll move out so you can kind of see it too. And then click OK. And then it says, do you want to switch to one master page? And we're going to tell it OK. We haven't talked as much about master pages. We will here in the future. All right, and then what we need to do is, after we've set that, it says resize and reposition the objects on the front of the card to look good with the new page size. So for instance, this used to fill almost the whole entire thing. So I'm going to click and drag and select all of this, and let's see if we can adjust the size of it. It may not work, but we're going to try. Okay, it kind of did. So I'm going to readjust it here a little more in the center. I'm going to readjust the happy birthday thing as well. Okay, and then let's try moving it as well. Man, there's a lot of boxes here because this was more down the bottom of the cake. So you may have to take a little bit of time to do this, as I'm having to do here now. And then this leaf picture goes over here as well. So we have that, and then of course double check here. You can see I need to make this bigger. This page is so big, you think. Now if you want to keep the dimensions here, grabbing the corner dot, hold down shift, and we'll let you, oh, I need to make the picture bigger too. So make it fill the picture about like that. So that's good. So I'm going to select both of these. Remember, you can hold down control. It'll let you move both of them at the same time. So I'm going to position about the middle here. And then, of course, let's make this text a little bit bigger as well. So I'm actually going to just click on it and choose best fit. Click on it, choose best fit. So that looks better. And then let's go down here to the back, or go to the back of this. And then let's actually just click and drag and select all of it. And then we're going to make this bigger. So I held down shift this time to adjust it. You can see it kind of works when you select everything. Okay, this is a little too long now. Okay, so that looks better. Let's drag this over here. It's along the edge. And of course, each one is going to be a little bit different. But the idea of what I'm going to be looking for is I'm going to be seeing, okay, did you actually adjust it for what you needed for your card, or did you just change everything and then leave it? So take the time to fix it, make it look good. So you can see it's taking me maybe a minute or two extra here of adjusting it. So you can see, not too difficult there. This card is brought to you by, oh, hang on a second, undo. I need this text box. There we go. Something as well, remember, if for some reason, say one of these is getting in the way, you can always change how they're arranged. So that would be, I believe, on the Home tab. Yeah, there we go. So let me double check here. Yeah, on the Home tab here, we have the Arrange group. You can bring forward, send forward. So if I click on an object, I can send it backwards if I need to adjust this. So I've adjusted things of the card. It does look better now. And then once you've done that, you save your work, and then you can, of course, exit Publisher. But we do need to save it here with a specific name. So click the Save button. We choose Browse. Of course, you're going to the right folder. And then I'm switching it over to 11 card underscore your initials. 11 card underscore your initials. Once you've done that, of course, you can exit out and then move on to the next exercise. You can, oh, I need to adjust one more box. There we go. That's better. And let's delete that. So when you finish, you'll see your folder is going to look something like what I'm about to have. So you have two files right here. These are the ones that you will need to submit. So 11 card and 11 pumpkin. Both of them are publisher files. Good job following along with this exercise. And again, this is how you complete publisher exercise number 11.